Hello everyone, welcome back to another Action Taimanin stream, where we see what we can do. We got a new campaign going on here, so I figured I'd try and do a little bit more stuff in the arena and a little bit more on the storyline. So, let's get going, shall we? First off, let's get the weapons out of the way here, because Shikigiri's almost done. People like turning around in the discussion boards and saying that Yukikaze's mother is absolutely terrible for PvP because she just stands there and takes hits. Not a good sign, considering I've just spent ages leveling her. The character that I'm interested in the most at the moment is Asuka, though, because she's just been shown off to be getting introduced into the game, so we'll get to see her character model as well. So let's just get all this out of the way. We got Rinko, we got Emily that needs to be sorry, we got Rinko and Yuki's mother that needs to be leveled here. Still giving Yuki's mother skill points. So let's see what we're up to with that. We got the weeklies as well to do. So sell 10 items, draw 10 gacha. Okay, so easy to do this. We just go here, we go sell, let's go that one. Because 10 from this is nothing, so we'll just, oh, there's 10 items. And then do 20 quests, draw gacha. So with the gacha, we'll go ahead and we'll do the gold one. Gold one's easy. We could have rolled for free, but instead we're going to roll using money. No big deal. There we go. So that should be enough for two. Yeah. Okay, so now I just need to upgrade weapon with materials, complete main quest. We're doing alright. Those 10 gems easy. So we've still got the event going on at the moment, the Spider Princess and the Aqua Mistress. That was a pretty cool one. Over here, let's check Yuki's mother. She's got 26,000. Hey Shinju, nice to see you. So yeah, she's got 26,000 points at the moment. She's doing pretty good. Honestly, can't wait to see what she's like when we've got all of her skills leveled and everything, considering everybody says she's crap. But yeah, as you can see, we've got more unlocked, well, waiting to be unlocked now. We've got Murasaki, Sue, Karune, Oboro, who was introduced recently, and Asuka, who is the newest one to the roster. So we can actually go and take a sneak peek at Asuka's character model, which looks really nice. Ingrid, I'm not sure whether she's going to be in yet, but I imagine she will be at some point. But yeah, Asuka's model looks really, really cool. It's been a while. How are you doing, Shinju? I'm doing fine. Just trying to get on, you know. You'll see me in most of the time in Discord just doing, you know, like, different stuff. At the moment, I've been very busy in the Mechanites section, so not been able to do much. But yeah, and then we've got the Oboro package, which was the last one that we saw, which was Oboro's character model from the boss fights. How's your hand? Oh, it's still the same. It's not getting any better. Like, both of them are kind of not getting any better. I tried Gran Turismo 1 the other day for anyone that saw that stream. And, yeah, after playing Gran Turismo 1, it wasn't particularly good for a couple of days. And then it's just gone back to normal. I'm still doing my home physio, so I've got to, you know, I'm going to have to tell him it isn't working. Because they did say that I'd have to go back to him if it wasn't working, and we'll figure out something else. So yeah, not much progress, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So yeah, just been relaxing, trying to get my sleep pattern on track. Spend a lot of time doing 3D and doing Mechanite stuff. That's about it, really. Last time I ever did a proper stream, I think, was the X2. I've been trying to plan with me switching my sleep pattern up to try and actually be awake during the day now. I'm trying to figure out what are the kits and stuff I can do, because I've still got to do the GBO2 project stuff. So I figured at some point I'll start that up again, finish off Ion's build, do John and Boaty's builds, and then I've got to wait for Nova's build to eventually arrive. And then, like before, I went on HLJ and ordered Death Scythe, the high grade one. So that's going to be fun when that comes eventually. And for anyone who didn't see, we got the first in the Act mode line of Symphogear GX figurines. We got Hibiki announced. Looked so good. Can't wait till they bring out Chris, because it's going to be so good trying to get hold of Chris. Because I imagine her figurine is going to come with a massive amount of parts. Oh, we get to see Asuka here? Oh, so she has arm blades, and she's dead. I've mostly been hanging out in the GBO2 part of Discord. I don't talk much otherwise. It's totally fine, you know, the GBO2 part of Discord is always active. The best part about our Discord is it's very active over different portions anyway. And it's more or less fully autonomous in terms of, like, I don't actually have to be around for everybody to keep on enjoying themselves. So it's great. You know, I can kind of just come and go and everybody will be still having fun, which is important to me, you know. Speaking of GBO2, I might drop on it in a bit after this. See how everything goes. Just enjoying slaughtering everybody in the arena here. Everybody in the discussion section on Steam was complaining about how overpowered Emily is. It's like, no, she can be beaten. It just takes a little bit of tweaking with your character, but apparently there are calls for it to be nerfed. It's like, come on, you can't nerf Emily. She's too good to be nerfed. You just gotta step everybody else up. And people complaining they're level 40, Emily beats out a level 28 Sakura, and it's like, yeah, well, if it's not statted correctly, then of course it's gonna get completely wiped. I don't know. I feel like it's more the AI in this that is a bit of a problem, because he keeps saying, like, Yuki's mother just keeps standing there and taking shots. Like, well, if she didn't do that, she'd be fine, you know. Oh, here we go, level 45 Sue. But yeah, I've just been chilling out and trying to relax while changing my sleep pattern, because by God, it's annoying trying to do it like over the course of a few days, because it just totally messes your sleep up. Corsa says, I tried playing this game and it's confusing. What's wrong, Corsa? Like, what's confusing so I can try helping you out? Because it's a pretty simple game. Oh, look at that. Emily might actually get beaten here. By an enemy Emily? What the hell did she have then? It wasn't her weapon that was... It was whatever support she just had that was crazy. How to progress and what material stuff do. Okay, so... The materials and things, you grind for those, but typically they are used for upgrading you different facilities. They're used for upgrading weapons and characters and things. Progression is literally done just by going through each chapter on different difficulties and things. But the best thing you can do is just try and level up your weapons and your characters very early on. You can go through chapters 1 to 5, which the beginning of the campaign, pretty easily, and just enjoy it at a steady pace. Getting each character to a certain level will allow you to get gems. Gems allow you to then purchase other things. This is why, you know, I'm doing the PvP in the arena so much. Because even just getting the basic rank on the arena will get me 75 gems. Ooh. Asagi might beat me here. The best thing I'd recommend for this, for characters and stuff, is level up whoever you've picked, or whoever is your favourite first. And try and do 1 through 5, which will set you up with a decent amount of gems. Get your character stats decent. And then try these other events and things. Like, for instance, I started out with Sakura here. And by the time I was at the end of the campaign, Sakura was level 60. I started out with different weapons here. And made sure some of her skills were maxed. Like, I ended up with, I think it was... Ah, there we go. Health was 20, and attack was 20, and everything else is kind of all over the place. But then you got to focus on your supports, like what do you want your character to do. Normally, like with Sakura here, she has a skill, was it Shadow Tangle, that binds characters or ensnares them. So what you want to do is you want to try and find somebody that has buffs for snared enemies. So I think it's Saburo here. There we go. Deals 620 damage to all enemies within close range and snares them for 12 seconds. So you just keep them snared, basically. With supports, you want them to be a higher level because these numbers seem to add on to your own. So it increases your defense, your health. You can improve the skills and upgrade them. And you use the materials like these books here that you can get out of the daily quests or just at the end of missions sometimes. You can use those to upgrade your character. So see, like here now, low level, if I click that, instantly takes them to level 17. Costs a little bit of money, but once you do it, you're fine. You know, so you keep doing that, you keep getting money, you keep leveling everything up. All the materials are used, like I was saying, in the facilities here at the side that are used for also upgrading things without having to use tons of materials or things like that. When you press the plus button, it will tell you what you actually need in the facility. Then you can go ahead, go back to the quest, the dailies here, and you can figure out, like for instance, never do anything else that isn't half off. Because it'll run your AP down real fast and you won't be able to play as long. Unless you've got AP shots. But basically, depending on your level and difficulty, it'll also use up different amounts of AP. Like, for instance, now, that's half off for me, but it's still costing 60 out of 174 there. So, these are all the rewards I could get from that as well. So, it's a case of, do I do it on hard, do it on normal, or do it on easy? I used to grind out easy and normal for ages. But yeah, you grind out those, get all the materials, and then use them to upgrade everything else. Always keep an eye on the money one, because everything costs money, and if you end up about 1 million or 2 million, it's where it's going to get a little bit awkward. Whenever you're leveling up your supporters, make sure that if you've got... Oh crap, that's monsters. Whenever you're leveling up your supports, make sure they have max intimacy. You can do that just by taking them into combat with you. They'll eventually level up. Like, for instance, with... Belma here, she's almost level 2. You want it to be max level, because then she gives you 20 gems on top of these other ones. So, for instance, you'll get to level 1, she'll give you 5. Level 2 is 5. Level 3 is 10. So you end up, I think, getting 50 gems per character. Easy way of getting gems. You do that for every single character. You just level them up and get them to max intimacy. You also get rewarded with intimacy scenes for doing that. Also keep note of your supports. Like for instance, on Emily here, keep note of what supports you've got and how they work well together. I've got the crappy ones on at the moment for doing missions and stuff, which is why Emily was probably crap in PvP, but the passives will allow you to perform better. Like, for instance, normally I have Emily stacked with critical stuff, so she just melts everybody. This is all set up for dailies and things, so I'll probably do those in a bit. But yeah, it's a case of just making sure that everything is set up right. Hello. Got somebody at the door here. Hang on. Not at the moment, sorry. I am waiting for one. I have put you down as a contact. Yeah, no. If that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Normally we just keep something on the inside. I think it's quite a big one, so I've not had any thingies to say when it's going to be delivered, so we'll just have to nip out. Yeah, that's no problem. Alright, thank you. No problem. I thought that was my one. It's the negative one. That moment where I'm in the middle of the stream and the neighbour knocks on to say that they've been waiting for a package and that it's not arrived yet and they've put us down as the recipient just in case they're not in. So fun stuff. Shinju says, speaking of GBO2, I'm trying to learn raids. Got into A-. It's been horrible rage-inducing. First time I ever threw the controller, so stopped. I'm trying to stop getting so frustrated. Raids are interesting to play. Last time I played Raid was properly was either when the Pixie was first introduced or the Ifrit Nacht because of their stealth abilities. It's kind of awkward playing Raid. you gotta take advantage of every single thing on the map, and it takes a lot of practice. Oh, come on now. We're doing the gun game on stream and I messed up. Oh, no, I messed up. Right, I need to get 5,000 at minimum here. I thought I messed up the first time, panicked, managed to recover it and then messed up again. So I've got to get 5,000 so I can at least get these 3 gems here. Really love the gun game because I've got perfects in it all the time before, and then I come on stream now and I mess it up completely. Oh my god, we didn't even get 5. Oh. Come on, I need to get 5,000. It's trying to sabotage me on stream. There we go, we got 5, so we're good. I'm not with good raids, but I always get them, says Corsair. I'm a support player, I rarely get them. No, I've seen a lot of good people playing raids. It's just... like, for instance, with the Pixie and the Nacht, I find that it's good taking advantage of cover and stuff and waiting for everybody else to kind of already be in combat before taking your chance to kind of hit and run. But yeah, it can be a pain playing as them. I've got to do this here for getting items and stuff. It's a case of knowing when and when not to engage most of the time. And that's why you don't see me playing raids that much. Like I said, I did play them for a spell and it was fun when I got it right. But when it wasn't fun was when I was making easy mistakes or not judging stuff correctly and then ended up getting wrecked. I just realised I took the other level 1 supports on a quest here when I didn't mean to. Trying to get this, oh Christ! Trying to get this health here. Oh, there we go. Come on now, I got a healing field triggered and I couldn't use it because of where I was on the level. I do like the water effect. Skip that. Let's just annihilate everybody. love the way we stunned the boss there. And he's gonna die to the machine gun turret. Okay, so we're good. Now let's see what level intimacy we end up with these characters at now. Level 2. Oh, come on. I was expecting level 3 with these two, but apparently not good enough. Okay, so that's obtained 20 items. Upgrade a weapon 10 times. I can do that. Item. Weapon. Let's see. Let's do one of these lower ones because it'll be easier to do. Upgrade. Use the low end materials here. Shinji says, I like playing any role, can relate to what you told me with your raid experiences. I've at least had a few good raid experiences. When raid works, it is one of the most satisfying things ever. Like, no joke, it is fantastic when you get that right opportunity when, for instance, the entire enemy team's generals are up front and you sneak round behind them, massacre the support, and then go in, get a couple of hits, maybe get a kill, and then you move out again and they're still wondering where the hell you are or where you went. It's brilliant using that sort of timing and that confusion to really land a couple of decent kills and provide your team with a little bit of an advantage on the front line. But when it's not good is when you think, okay, it looks good, you go and jump somebody, and instead the entire team, the entire enemy team jumps you, or your team gets obliterated real fast and you don't notice, and you end up getting swarmed, and then you can't do much, you know, and then you get shot to pieces, and it ends up being really infuriating. Or, I'm trying to think of what else is infuriating when you play as a raid, really, because those are the times where I've been really annoyed. Like, I don't mind for the most part. It's just a case of getting the timing just right and really being able to maximize the amount of damage you can do in a short space of time before jumping out again and making sure you don't get absolutely shredded. Go on, let's, actually, no, I don't want to do Tokyo Kingdom here with that setup, otherwise I'll end up getting wrecked. Let's finish the hard mode here with the other characters. Shinji said, everything just went wrong yesterday. Terrible plays, terrible scores. It also doesn't help when your team is crap. You know, really does not help when your team is absolute trash. Let's see, I'm trying to pick the characters that I had previously. It was that one, Faust, and where's the other one that has a blow dart for a weapon? Where is she? There she is. Ibuki. So I've got 2 offensive and 1 support. This should maximize the criticals I've got. Hey, Proof! Welcome to the bright side of the day. Dude, I've only had like 4 hours sleep. I mean, it's better than 3 yesterday, but I'm kind of trying to make it through the entire day without coffee. And it's a challenge, you know. I used to be, like, absolutely dependent on coffee. Ages ago, I used to constantly, like, non-stop drink coffee. And it's not that it's bad, it's just I learned to not depend on it as much. The problem is that I can't actually transition between day and night as easy without it. So, yeah, instead of going from, like, instant day to instant night, I try and do it over the space of a couple of days, but it's not working out too good for me. Like I said, it used to be a case of you'd take 1 day to rest, but in between I'd be able to go from, like, a night shift to a day shift. But yeah, it's just not happening right now. It's really draining. So later on, I'm probably going to end up completely unconscious at about 10 o'clock. It's going to be fun. Four hours is a bit rough. Yeah, 4 hours and 3 hours the day before. It's incredibly rough. I did do there was a spell where for a month when I was in university I worked on a project, and I had 3 hours sleep per day for a month, and oh god, I fell asleep for a week after I was done with this project. It was crazy. No joke. It's like I was hardly awake for the week. I'd only wake up for like a couple of hours or so, but for the most part I was asleep for an entire week. It was nuts. I wasn't able to coordinate well playing the Ifrit custom, which I did not practice with, says Shinju. Oof. The custom, or the Ifrit Kai as it's known, like the best thing to do is run in, try and get the shots with the missiles, and then go to town on them with the melee. And if I remember rightly, its downswing has a lunge, so you can use the increased range to your advantage. It's an interesting one. I used to be okay with it when it was first introduced into the game. I'm probably trash with it now. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It takes a little bit of time getting used to. From what I remember, it doesn't have any stealth capabilities either. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it does, which is why stuff like the Ifrit Nacht is my go-to for raid, or was my go-to, because stealth gives you that little bit of an advantage. Not so much the Pixie, because anti-stealth doesn't does that suit in completely, even though it's got it's decent melee for when you're first learning raids. But the Ifrit Nacht, if you can get that, because of its stealth messing up players' radars, it tends to be a little bit easier to move around, which is very nice when you're trying to get up behind people and really mess them up, you know. If you can just see where they are and position yourself around the corner a little bit further away from them, then you're set. It's pretty nice if you've got a Nacht, basically. Changing your sleep schedule is hard. It can be incredibly rough. I mean, I used to do it all the time when I was working security, and I've had times in the past where I've been able to do it easy. I just chalk it up to getting older, you know, and me trying to ease myself into it, but it's not happening, you know. I should really just commit to it and just get some coffee and just take one day to do it rather than spending 2 or 3 days trying to do it and just being all over the place. Because I've found that by staying up more often during the evenings that my eyesight's actually gone just a tiny bit worse because my eyes are used to the dark instead of the sunlight. So the focus is a little bit off on them. This happened the same time, the last time I was doing this kind of thing. I ended up with my eyes going a bit funny for ages, and then when I changed my sleep pattern back to days, my eyes were fine again. It's just getting them used to the light again. But yeah, it's a little bit messed up trying to change your sleep pattern. Can relate to that. A few years ago, I fell asleep during FF11 with a friend, and he told me later he heard a loud thump. I woke up 2 hours later and resumed our talk from the point I DC'd. So yeah, I've had stuff like that in the past when I've been on other streams before I joined the Gundam community. There's one very notorious one which I'll have to try and clip for you guys, where Jem was streaming Outlast 2, I think it was, when I was doing security work. And sure enough, I come in from security and she's playing. Next moment, I fall asleep on the floor while she's streaming. I'm like face down in the floor, and you can just hear me on the stream in the background while she's streaming, just snoring my head off completely, and it ruined her entire stream. It was funny, but it was kind of nasty of me. I just couldn't help it, you know. I'm just sat there going in the background. It's so funny. Just snoring my head off. I've done that quite a few times. There was one stream where I was doing, I think it was like a speedrun of Armored Core 1 or something. And then after I'd finished it, I did another stream where I was just chatting to people. And then I fell asleep on stream. And woke up, like, I think it was 7 hours later and the stream was still going. And it was like, oops! So, definitely had that kind of experience. She outlasted you, says Proof. I mean, to be honest, I was shattered. I'd just done like a 12-hour night shift. Right, let's see. Shinji says, oh man, I've mostly been playing Ifrits. All 3 raid versions, Narc, DS, and Kai. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not playing the DS so much, but the Narc, definitely my favourite. Talking to somebody with help against the urge to sleep. The thing is, like, there's easy ways of stopping yourself from going to sleep. It's a case of stay sat up straight, walk around a little bit, have some coffee, make sure you're not overheating. Like, for instance, I have this problem where if I get to a certain temperature, I am just out like a light no matter what. Like, if I get to just that cozy temperature or warmth, I'm just gone no matter what. I can't help it. So never stay too warm. Always try and be cold if you want to stay up. Always have coffee. Give yourself something to eat. Make sure you got a lot of energy in you. So normally that's through eating. So sugar, mainly, and caffeine really helps. Makes it so much easier. As well as, like I said before, just sitting up straight and keeping yourself entertained. And not really getting yourself bored with anything. Yeah, that's the easy cheat way to stay awake if you want to do that kind of thing. It's just I tend to get relaxed too much nowadays. Corsair says, I'm excited for GBO 2 because the Gyaradoga is coming, which means the Jagan is coming. Yes! Finally, I get the Jagan. I wonder whether they're going to do the Echous Jagan. The, obviously the one from Unicorn that I mentioned ages ago. Because that was one of the suits that I mentioned earlier on that I'd like to see, just because of it being a Fetty Grunt suit. That and me being a really big Unicorn fan. I think the 3 suits, when people asked me early on what I wanted, the 3 suits that I wanted in game the most were the Jagan, the Pale Rider, and the Violent Custom. And we've got the Pale Rider and the Violent Custom, so the reason why I said the Pale Rider is primarily just because, if I remember rightly, my quote was, I haven't seen what it's from, but it looks like a Swiss Army knife. In terms of what weapons it had. So yeah. Echous Jagan though, man. Echous Jagan with the different add-ons. Give me the different versions, like the one with the bazooka, the one with the extra knife, and the revolver. Or the revolver-looking thing. Give me a support version with the mega launcher. I want all of these. Hell, the next one I want is going to be the Jester, you know. Forgetting the Jagan, give me the Jester as well. It'll be a raid. No! No! Echous Jagan is coming, considering we have an Echous uniform. Nice. I want the Jester to be a general. Just because the design of the Jester looks so damn good. That, and like I said before, I really love Unicorn. Let's see. Shinji says, I'm done talking GBO 2. Other news. Been learning 3D modeling slowly. Blender? I take it. Hell, we need some more narrative and Thunderbolt stuff, and like I was saying before, well, like I was saying ages ago, I need my Thunderbolt Ground Gundam, or Thunderbolt Ground Gym, you know, with the twin shields for extra push on General. And for narrative, I want the freaking jesters from narrative, the special team that goes to catch the Phoenix. Give me those, please. Give me some more specialist stuff from MSV. And while we're at it, give me a crossbone anime. I want my crossbone anime even more now. I know they'll never do it, but I can hope. I can dream. Proof says, Swift's army knife hair. Funny, I named one of my older videos with the Pale Rider like that. I mean, it's true. It has like almost every single weapon, or rather every single Fetty weapon coming out of basically every surface on it, you know. It's got the missile pods, it's got the bazooka, the beam rifle, it's got the 180, it's got the beam rifles in the arms, it's loaded with weapons. Have you made a donut yet in Blender, Shinju? Yeah, it's Blender. Okay, so yeah, Blender, I'm actually going through the process of learning myself. I used 3ds Max for like 10 years, and then decided I'd transfer to Blender, so it's a bit awkward trying to learn absolutely everything, but it's pretty cool. No crossbones is proof. No, I want crossbone. I'm so desperate for crossbone right now. You know, seriously, I need my crossbone. Like, really late UC, man. It gets wacky, but it's Crossbone is like the UC version of IBO. And the reason why I say that is because they have all these other suits and mobile armors that they end up salvaging and using in combat. On top of that, you got the crazy sort of end of humanity scenario thing that normally occurs in Gundam, but it's done with poison gas instead. But no, the idea of salvaging mobile armors and stuff like that and other suits, I just really like that. I kind of take that idea from IBO and compare it. My wording is terrible right now, possibly because of the lack of sleep. It's too wacky! No, it isn't. I thought you were desperate for coffee. No. No, I really want Crossbone, man. It's so good. It's not too wacky. It's basically for Crossbone, Anaheim's don't exactly stop producing mobile suits, but they're no longer the main leader in producing them. So you end up with other companies coming in, and it's the SRNI, I think it is, that ends up producing the Crossbones and the mass-produced Crossbone units. And then you got the Jupiter Empire with all the crazy mobile armors and stuff. Oh. It's basically, it's a weird mix of, because it's a carry-on of F91, so it's a weird mix of, like, all kinds of different things. I just remembered we're fighting Ingrid here in a minute. SNRI, says Proof. I don't like the Jupiter Empire, says Corsair. I don't mind them. They're really just a continuation of what the Crossbone Vanguard was doing. More or less. It's a bit like if you take the Crossbone Vanguard and go a little bit more crazy with them. You always get that sort of end of Earth scenario where it's like, oh, we've got to kill humanity because the Earth isn't required anymore, or the Earth's suffering, so we've got to return it to its natural state. A bit like G Gundam, you know, where Master Asia does the same thing, but instead it's like, yeah, we need to destroy everything on Earth so that we can manipulate the markets for like oxygen and food and stuff in space, so that we can remain on top and be the aristocracy. That's the basic gist of Crossbone. You know, what the bad guys want. But yeah, I absolutely love how just out there Crossbone is. It's basically a giant chase through space when you read the manga. It takes place on like maybe 3 or 4 different places, and then the rest is in outer space on the way to Earth. You're on Jupiter. How did you make an empire, says Corsair? It's Jupiter. It's more a colony than anything that's kind of floating around it. The mobile suits are all being salvaged look weird. The only thing I liked of Late Crossbones is Shinju. Oh, here's Ingrid for anyone that likes Ingrid. Proof says, Shinji says, oh no, wait, sorry, I read that wrong. I read that as somebody else. Sorry, you have one colony doesn't make any sense. I mean, I can't remember whether it was just one colony or not. I know they only showed the Crossbow Vanguard only infiltrating one colony. It was like an outpost of sorts. I can't remember whether it was colony or like a little base or whatever. But I do remember that they mentioned that there are a few different places that are currently being oppressed by the Jupiter Empire. And that the idea is that by liberating everybody, that they'll hopefully be able to get more oxygen and food and stuff, because not everybody agrees with the way that things are being done. Is that Ingrid done now? There we go, so hopefully we've completed this. How stupid the Earth Federation is doesn't make sense. What, the fact that the Jupiter Empire sneaks people in behind the scenes for like the entirety of the UC era, or the late UC era? It's pretty neat of them that they managed to infiltrate so many different parts of the Federation. The Federation really do fall for it though, like towards the very end, where the whole thing is, oh, we'll come and meet and talk with you guys about potentially having a peace treaty, and then next moment they get backstabbed. Through the whole series, this Corsair, they don't really show up until the last quarter, from what I remember anyway. Could just be me. Oh, from 79 to 120. Yeah, sometimes the Federation do some really stupid stuff. Like, for instance, produce a Gundam with a nuke launcher on it, because, you know, that's great. Just violate the Antarctic Treaty, it's fine. It's no big deal. No big deal at all. There's some really messed up people in the Federation, but it's deliberately done to show that they're a morally grey sort of organisation that has some good and some bad people in them, you know. Selling Char Axis went really, really well, says Proof. Let's see what's in these bags. Ooh, so Asuka's got... Oh, Asuka, Sue, and Obero have costumes in this now? I'm gonna have to actually check what those are. I wonder whether they overlap with anything else so far. Oh, why am I upgrading crests here? I need to upgrade Magatamers, which I can't do at the moment because of how this is set up, I think. Right. So yeah, let's go back to Ingrid first for a moment. We got 690 gems here. I need to save up for Asuka when she comes out because she looks so damn good. So yeah, there's Ingrid. Black's right-hand woman of sorts. She's pretty cool. Like her design. She's got that massive underboob going on. It doesn't look like they've actually censored her. I'm going to have to compare to the source material. Really does not look like they've censored her. But she's even wearing the same style leg garments that the Taimanin were, so I don't know what that's about. But yeah, then we've got all the other characters here. So we've got Maiko when she was being brainwashed. Kalia, which is Snake Lady basically in her alternate form. Astaroth. And then who else did we have who was an enemy? We got the Succubus, we got Noah, who we still don't know what the hell she's... We still don't know what she is. And then Mari. Mari was the candidate that we fought in the training area for one of the events. And then, of course, the only other human-style enemy is Obero, who's now playable. Is it my bad that I want an Armored Core anime, says Corsair? I mean, there was going to be one in, like, 2007, if I remember rightly. But they canned it. They just turned around and went, nah, we're good. Nora's basically jailbait at this point. I don't think she's jailbait as much as she's just not got anything sort of going on with her character. We don't know what the hell she is, so it's hard to really say anything about her. You know. She's just there. That's the only thing I can say about her. She's just there. I'm just checking to see about intimacy here. Almost. Hello, I'll take that level 2, thank you very much. All these characters, man. Did my comment get deleted, said Shinju? I did not delete anything. I'm just reading through now. It says, the Feddies are nothing once Zanska comes and screws them hard on their home territory, leaving the entire war effort to a bunch of old people and kids. Yeah, I've not deleted anything. What was wrong with it, Shinju? It might have been YouTube. Noah is jailbait, but so is the girl with the pistols. Oh, Yuki. Yeah, Yuki actually doesn't change even when she's an adult, so it's... The only thing that changes when she's an adult is, obviously her limbs are longer. Her costume slightly changes and her hair goes shorter. She kind of cuts off this entire sort of princess haircut that her and Asuka share, and her twin tails, and she just kind of keeps it short. That's about it. Careful, you're going into uncharted waters, Moody. This is proof. Corsa says intimacy. Yeah, so intimacy in this game gets you special scenes. So, for instance, Emily's one. The idea is when you go up through supporters and you get them to max level, you get their intimacy scenes when they're level 5. Like with Homura here, I think we go for a bike ride. Yeah, it just shows you a couple of scenes and also tells you in text what happens normally in between, like a visual novel. But basically, you just go on a bike ride with her. Some of them a little bit more lewder, some of them not. It kind of varies. And with the actual main characters, you can unlock them as well. Emily's here shows how she fights a load of zombies in the underground level, like the sewer, until she eventually runs out of ammo and ends up having to hide and survive on emergency food rations because she's got no ammo and no batteries left. Which isn't exactly an intimacy scene. Yeah, I've yet to get those for any of the other mainline characters, just a lot for each support. I said something silly as Xeon Forever. I'm calling for the Federation scum, but that's possibly a no-no word. YouTube doesn't understand what a joke is and yeets my message. God damn it, YouTube. Honestly, I did not see that message, Shinju, the first time, so I'm assuming YouTube just auto-deleted. Freaking Susan, man. You know what I'm like? Normally, if something's censored, I'll call it out and be like, look, guys, it's censored here. I'm going to have to manually uncensor it now. But I didn't even see anything. I've not seen anything so far saying, like, oh, this has been censored. So, there we go. There we go. Corsair's last 2 have been censored. I'll uncensor those. After the bike ride, she whams. This is proof. She's not of age. Ain't no way, says Corsair. What, Yuki? What age was Yuki again? It says in a character profile. Hey, Division. I swear it says in a character profile. She's like 16 here. Most of the characters are like 16, 17. If I remember rightly, it's Yuki 17, Sakura 16 during the events of this. Don't even get me started on what happens later on down the line in the series, because it gets really messed up. Really, like even more messed up than the beginnings of freaking Prison Battleship, which I keep bringing up because it's just messed up. Anything or almost anything by Lilith tends to be really messed up when you dive just that little bit further into it, unfortunately. Right, let's try and farm the Spider Princess bit so we can get these characters leveled up a little bit more, and I'll also read chat again in a moment. I just need to get everybody switched up here. There's Asuka. Okay, so there's 3 characters that I need to be leveled. So, quest, event. So at least I'll be getting some decent items off this, so I can go to number 2. Click go. 90! Jesus Christ! I better be getting a lot of items for this. YouTube is crap and full of censorship. Yeah, it is. I know it wasn't you, Moody. It's always Susan and the Tube Gang. You know me. I love calling out the YouTube BS. You know, because it's stupid. Oh my God! I'm raining fire from the sky. Soccer is 16, says Corsair. Yeah, I mean, in English, I think that is legit. Like, cause in different parts of the world, obviously the consenting age is different, and I think in Britain it's 16 is consenting age. Old enough to be in a H movie, says Proof. Getting ready to leave for class by looking up some NGB reviews, says Devasia. Oh God. One thing that bugs the ever-living crap at me is every review compares NGB to 3. Not a single word about how the builders parts were handled between games. Why does no one make a note of that? I've seen it in, like, early stuff. I know I mentioned it ages ago, but, yeah, there is the whole thing about builder parts not being used as well in NGB compared to GB3, because they're cosmetics rather than actual usable weapons and things. Yeah, man, the Taimanin universe. Woof. Messed up. Really messed up. In some cases. It's like, when I really want them to introduce Sakura's, like, older costume, where she's, like, I think it's 27 or something, but if they include that in it, then they better not include the storyline that goes with it. It's particularly messed up. Basically, when she's older, I gotta figure out how to word this properly. When she's older, she has the usual sort of encounter with one of the main bad guys, but he actually gets her to relive every single moment where she's lost a battle, so to say. No, she has to relive every single moment of it while she's also losing yet another battle. So, not nice. Not nice in the slightest. And I'm laughing here while I'm saying it, primarily because I'm trying to at least figure out ways of getting around YouTube to say this kind of stuff. It's just like, oh, you know. I mean, you guys have heard me before when I say, like, what losing a normal battle entails in the Taimanin universe outside of the games, so, yeah, you know. Proof says that universe is a rough place to have milk jugs. Sakura was defeated hard, yeah. Most of them get defeated really hard. It's totally messed up. It's like, I think there's the one point early in the storyline where Asuka goes to fight Black, the main bad guy who we saw from chapter, I think it was 11 or 12 here. And she goes to fight him early on, when she's still a trainee, if I remember rightly. And what ends up happening is Black just completely obliterates all her limbs. So she gets all of her limbs replaced with cybernetics. But as a result, I think there is one storyline where she gets her limbs hacked or something and can't control them. It's really messed up. And that's the usual kind of thing that happens, you know. It's the same thing with like Prison Battleship, where it's all like the worst variety of tags you can imagine from your average sort of image search site, you know. Such glorious tags as like Mindbreak and other stuff. It's like, oh god, no. I've seen some messed up stuff before, and you shared some really weird stuff of it. Also, the figure is weird, says Shinju. Yeah, back when the room was, the Ludi room was open on Discord, I was sharing examples of it to show people just how messed up it is. And yeah, it was pretty weird. And of course, the freaking Asagi figure that has removable sections that can then be replaced by much lewder sections, you know, if you want to buy that kind of thing. God knows who would, you know. I'll stick to my very tame Symphogear figures, thank you very much. Let's see. There we go. 10. 10. What was the other one? I swear I got... No! Come on! I'm trying to get more gems here so I can get Asuka when she comes out. Guess I'm going farming it. Oh, should I farm though, or should I just do the dailies? Because it was like, what, 90 for there? Yeah, let's do 60. I thought that was pretty tame, says Proof. I mean, you can basically search up most of the Taimanin stuff pretty risk-free online and see how much more messed up it can be. Devasia says, it just gets on my wick that NGB exists and that anyone defends it for any reason. Almost no one seems to consider it to a full degree which customization is neutered. No, it's just people don't search much outside of, you know, initial opinions. Oh. I can't understand why my friend, after buying it, says Corsair, why my friend buying it and trying to convince me to play it after I warned him it was bad. Some people, and I hate to say it, some people just, you know, are silly. Love spending money for no reason. It's... They might turn around and be like, oh no, it's just poppycock, you know. It's nothing. People online are probably wrong or whatever, but when a lot of fans are saying like, no, this is wrong, this is really wrong, you'd think that maybe you'd wait and just look at stuff online and save yourself the money, but, you know, some people just have money to throw around, you know. Not everybody has the luxury of disposable income. He still plays it, he's played GB3. Oof, that's harsh. That's harsh, I don't know what to say about that. It's like I said, the only good thing about NGB is the fact that the storyline is short, so it doesn't feel as much of a grind that way compared to Chapter 4 of Gundam Breaker 3. You know, Chapter 4 on Gundam Breaker 3 is just an absolute time sink. Seriously, it feels like it goes on forever. But overall, the game is great. That's just the only thing that seems to drag on. Shinju says, I also like my heroines not messed up to the Taimanin level. That is actually a good choice. Yeah. There was only one thing, messed up thing that made me turn away, and it's a certain video that starts with 2 girls as proof. Oh, jeez. I love raining fire from the sky like this with Micah. Taimanin character look... The Taimanin characters look great, I just don't like the scenarios they end up in. Yeah, exactly the same. Feel exactly the same, you know. It's like most of the characters end up in the most messed up situations with the most messed up tags. You know? But then again, some people are into that kind of thing, which is really weird. Really weird. If you're into it, you're into it. I won't judge, but all I'm gonna say is it is pretty weird. Then again, the same crowd are into stuff like Prison Battleship. It wouldn't be so bad if it was, say, like something else that was a little bit tamer, but no, it's just me. I was trying to think of an example there, I'm like, I can't think of any examples. You'd have to pay me to play NGB, says Devasia. I mean, I think I said that at one point. Chapter 4 is mainly bad because it lacks much of the story after it kicks off. That's true, that's true. It tends to be just a slog through the same style stuff over and over again. Chapter 4 is tolerable if you judge the game as a whole. If you're just judging Chapter 4 on its own from Gundam Breaker 3, it's pretty bad. As good as Gundam Breaker 3 is, it would be much better if it kept the levels from 2. I've not experienced 2. Collections. Let's see. Support. I can't remember who leveled up there. Who the hell leveled up? Trying to keep track of characters. Okay, so it wasn't Micah, it wasn't Asuka, so it's gotta be Water Lady. She's ripped though, look. Freaking... Why does it turn it on the character on her side? She's freaking ripped. She's stacked and ripped. What? And they're doing that whole thing again that I mentioned ages ago about character designs. Hello? Is that a message I have? Oh no. Battery on my phone's full. Great. That was quick to charge. Shinji says, I played NGB before I bought GB3. And things I liked about NGB is customization and the amount of suits, but the combat and builder parts as well as the optional parts makes GB3 much better. I agree with that. Anyone play the Mobile Breaker? I did. Mobile Breaker was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. Yeah. And this is why I keep saying if they made mobile into like a fully fledged game, it'd be okay. Probably do better than NGB. I'd actually be interested to see what would happen with a mainline game like that if it did the same style event stuff that like the gacha stuff does. When they come out, they say, okay, this week we're doing these parts. They'll be introduced into the roster. I don't know whether it'd be good or bad, you know, when we just spitballing that. It's like, oh, I'd like to see it if there was a mainline Gundam Breaker game that had those kind of gacha mechanics in. The only reason I'd say that'd be interesting is because you get people coming back constantly over and over again to the events to get the parts and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm going in the wrong direction here. I probably am. You guys tell me. You know. I'm just thinking more of the constantly returning players for that, but then you'd have constantly returning players anyway if it was introduced normally. Maybe limit that to like certain special parts, maybe? Because I would not like it to be full-on gacha in terms of like you have to grind forever or pay money to get parts. Would not like that. That would be like the worst case scenario ever. Let's just drop some fire on this guy again. I like being able to use all the weapons my suit part's supposed to have, not being limited to our NGB made, says Shinju. Yeah, I don't like being limited at all, especially like the first time I played NGB. I couldn't use like some of the optional weapons, for instance, like the Astrays, katanas, like specifically the red frames, Jabura Straight, or Gabura Straight. When I couldn't use that because it was just cosmetic, I was like, nope, no, I'm out. You know, just constant DLC jobs. Dude, NGB feels like a gacha game already, says Division. I'm sorry. GBO 2 style GB game would be good. I don't think so. I think like you should have a decent pool of parts. Like for instance, imagine right, we get GB3 again for the pool of parts, but then they include a lot of the newer parts that were introduced into the mobile title as like event parts that get introduced, say, on a weekly basis for a year. And it's not so much that they immediately disappear once the event is done. You can still get them, but you can get them by doing like harder missions or whatever. But for like a certain weekend, that's when they get introduced. So the hype is, okay, we gotta get on. Everybody's on at this time to do this mission or a certain thing to acquire these parts first. You know, I don't know whether that would be a really cool idea or what, but I'm just kind of spitballing it in my head, and because I'm like half asleep as well, I'm not paying attention to what negatives could come of it. I'm just like, oh, this sounds pretty interesting. Let's just throw this out there and see what chat says. If it has good netcode and PvE, I agree with you, Corsa, says Shinju. Atomic Bazooka PvE only. The Atomic Bazooka is up, everybody rushes to get it. You just know it'd happen. All I'm saying is, I do like it when there are games that get the communities together to do like special events or get them hyped up and get people talking. Because by getting people talking, you get more people interested in the game, or at least it gets a wider reach. You know, you expose it to more people, then they get interested, then they're like, what is this? And then more people come in, and then obviously you get more money, and from a company standpoint, you want more money. You know, continue growing your business. Meanwhile, everybody's hopefully enjoying the content you put out. But yeah, like I said, it'd be cool if they did something like that for at least for like mobile stuff, where you already had a good large amount of parts in the pool already on launch, so you weren't just sort of screwed over. And then they slowly introduce stuff like that, and it not be like a total grind, but there's at least a challenge there for it. You know, gotta be fair with this. Then the whole thing is, I'm thinking of the negatives now as I'm slowly getting some sort of sense here. The negatives will be, well, how do they get money out of this if they're just going to introduce new content over and over and over again? It's like, well, you might have to do it as, say, like a battle pass thing or whatever. That's the downside that I'm thinking of at the moment. Trying to think of what other negatives there would be to this right now while I'm busy farming this for extra intimacy levels. Because you don't want it to be full on gacha, and you don't want it to be full on monetization to, well, like, you know, pay to win. Because that's just trash and nobody will play it. You need it to be kind of the right balance so that, yeah, if you want to get extra money out of people, it's not too much. They get a lot from it, and you're also getting hype for your game at the same time, so it does well. That's the ideal sort of scenario you're looking for, so that you can still make money off it. You get hype, and everybody enjoys it. Really, really finicky way of doing things, but it can be done. And I just realised we've just completed like everything here on hard mode. Oh, we're close. So close, I just realised we've got 1 BP here, so we can do 1 battle in the arena. Oh, before we do that battle, I'm going to change my characters back so I can just annihilate whoever's in here. So watch this now, right? I'm going to change to my usual deal that I didn't have before and see how we do. In the arena, we should slaughter everybody. Let's see what we got here. Where's Ibuki? There she is. Arena. It's only one battle and I'm tooling myself up. There we go. Shinji says, I feel like because of Mobile Breaker netting the money, it'll be years before they make a new one. Potentially, yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Murasaki dead in one hit. Wow. Okay, level 50 Obero managing to tank here. She has a special ability that allows her to go invincible, and now it wore off and she died. Like her dress, though. Come on, Sakura, you've got, what is it, an attack buff with that? Ah, she's dead. Just dead. Nope, just die. Just die. Over in like 6 seconds or something. There we go, we're good. Let's see if we can get to 6,000 in the high rank again, because I want to try and do that so I don't have to go ahead and do the arena for another couple of days. Where is it? Oh yeah, we got BP here. That's good. Use the BP potions. Let's just drop in on some unsuspecting people. Drop in on them and completely annihilate them, because, you know, it's always fun to do that. Oh, bro, in the white dress with the splits up the side, man. And the split down the front and the exposed back. Jeez. And the heels. The heck is that costume for Asagi? Don't think I've seen that. It's either that or it's a Special Forces outfit with a different skin on. Jesus Christ. I'm like half, not falling asleep, but I'm yawning because the lack of sleep is getting to me a little bit. If I just stand up a little bit while I'm on stream here and walk around just a tiny bit while we kill everybody else, then we'll be good. Let's just relax here and try and not fall asleep. Oh wow, Asagi just died in 2 seconds. 1-2 dead. You want to have some pep talk, Mooney says Proof. No, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good. I just, you know, now that I'm stood up, I'm fine. It's all good. Still watching Emily just wreck everybody. Yawning again here, come on. What time is it in the UK right now? Oh, it's 3 PM? God damn it. I've got like at least another, what, 6 hours or something to stay awake? No, that'd be 9. 7 hours. I've got like a couple of other streams to do and other tasks that I have to do today, so gotta do a lot. So I'm gonna survive another 10 hours, 7 hours. Oh, doing my best impression of Sleepy Joe here at this point. But that's as far as I'll go with that. Don't like getting into politics. Oh, hello. Asuka in a school outfit just dead in 2 seconds. Yeah, 7 hours. 7 hours to go. Not 10. Deleted, says Corsair. Yeah. Oh, we're almost promoted here again. I think I just have to win this one, and then we've got the extra 75 gems again for next week. Because every Sunday is when I get the gems. Every Sunday at 3 PM. Corsair says, deleted by a big titty geek babe with twin howitzers and a minigun drone. I mean, she is best girl. Especially when she's max level. And she can just play the entire game for you, more or less. Apart from the hard mode. Hard mode actually requires you to do something. But yeah, you want an easy time on this game. Just get Emily. There we go. Top rank. We don't necessarily need to enter the top 100. We just need to be on the border of it to get the extra points required for next time. So yeah, we're done with the arena again. She's not, but she's powerful. Ingrid is the best girl. It's debatable. It's debatable. What the hell? So we got Asuka's drops. Oh, let's see what Asuka's event is, because like the 200 gems, it's gonna get me here if I'm not careful. We got what? Deathly Genma? I think that's pronounced. It's got like bones on it and stuff. That's cool. It's always good getting something like this early on so you can do good with the character. Oh, hello. Shishirui. Increases crit. Okay, that's cool. Those look really cool as well. Those are demon stuff. SWAT arms. What the? They look like plasma energy or something? Increases speed, okay. It looks like the arms there, then you got this like plasma sword thing coming out of it. Why aren't you always on hard mode, Moody-chan? I am. Cloudwing Blade. Okay, so that one almost looks like a default one. Increases damage to machine type enemies. Android arm. That's pretty cool. I like the shading on that. Increases ult damage. Prosthetic shell. Increases particle charge. So yeah, the best thing there is probably either Deathly Genma or Shishirui. And then we've got all these other characters here. We've got Fuma, Ayame, Kaoru. I need her so I can get Chain of Retribution leveled up. There's a couple of other ones I need as well. Reduces damage taken from bosses. Yeah. Already got her. Reduces damage taken from all enemies by 12%. Jesus Christ. I don't know whether I've got her leveled up or not. Her outfit's pretty cool though. That's a weapon. Which one's that one? Oh, okay. I think I've seen her once before. Increases critical rate of melee attacks. But why? Increases critical damage by 16%. Oh, that'd be interesting. Becomes invulnerable for 7 seconds. Problem is the drop rates. I like the way that it shows the drop rates, but at the same time, it's like, it's not happening. I'm not wasting 200 on that, even though it's pretty cool, and I can get some stuff from them. What the? Okay, so they've given Asuka an Oni Princess outfit. That looks pretty cool. You know, it's serious business when it catches my attention like that. Is it me or do a lot of the support characters look better than some of the mains? You're not wrong. Like, some of them do look really cool. Do I draw now, or do I wait and get a better chance of getting stuff later? I think I'll wait. It's giving me half off for 20 gems there, but I don't want to do it. I hate this. It keeps teasing me. I've got the Spider Princess, haven't I? Think I might have her. I'm not sure. I know we beat her. I'm going to come off the gacha place now before it freaking starts teasing me again, and then I end up spending my points on something that I don't need, and then lose out to the gacha because of its crazy percentages. Like, for instance, I think, where is it? There was one that I know I can do if I get a gacha coin for free, but I don't think I've got one yet. And that was the shop. It's here. Okay, so there's Asuka. All the other ones are like 1,200. She'll probably be the same. Let's see. Mileage. I'm nowhere close because I want Mercy, because Mercy actually gives you more gold if I remember rightly. Yeah. More gold and a bonus item. So it's either I get Mercy or I save up and get Susuri. Because when your HP drops to 0, it restores 25% and reduces damage taken and removes one debuff and stuns everybody and becomes invulnerable. Nuts, but I like a character design. So it's a case of do I wait and spend 3,000 or do I save up 15,000, which will probably take forever. The thing is, you only get these from rolling, so it's a case of do I fail on the rolls deliberately to get that character quicker or what? Hootie Pop 2 looks off, says Young. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. I'll see you on the next stream. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you next time.